5th, fading his career to black.
Somebody said to me, what would you have done if it wouldn't have been radio? I don't know. I really don't. This was all I had on my docket, so I had to make it.
I'm Lauren Edwards, Fox 2 News.
The Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, lawmakers on Capitol Hill taking steps to fund the government and stop the shutdown. Senators passing the much-needed legislation to make it happen just a few hours ago. But the bill still has to pass the House, and the earliest lawmakers are expected to vote on it is Wednesday. This comes as air travel is thrown for a loop, especially at Detroit Metro Airport, which is seeing some of the most delays and cancellations in the entire country. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack is live at DTW, working to see what travelers have to say about all this. Jess, how are they taking this?
You know, just a few minutes ago before our live shot, we overheard a traveler. He was on the phone with Delta. He is stuck in Detroit tonight. His flight to Omaha, Nebraska was canceled. He was smiling, a little frustrated. He has to go catch an Uber and go to a hotel like so many other people. And you mentioned, Dave, one of the worst in the country right now. According to FlightAware, DTW is 7th worst in the nation in terms of delays and cancellation. Let's take a look at the numbers from today. So far, DTW has right around 300 delays and about 110 cancellations. Again, that's just today. Now, some of the other harder hit airports, New York's LaGuardia and Newark Airport, Dallas and Chicago's 2 airports. Now, there was some movement tonight in Washington in regards to the shutdown and a stern message from the president for air traffic controllers to go back to work. Now, a local travel agent we talked to said today if this goes into the busy Thanksgiving holiday travel season, he says it would, quote, be an absolute nightmare. He's recommending right now coming up with a plan B like driving, but said it's way too soon to start canceling your flights altogether. He has one tip. It's his #1 tip, and you're getting it right now.
With all your travel needs, take insurance, because insurance will always cover you and give you your, in these types of situations, your money back if your flight was completely canceled. So it's important to take insurance because it's going to cover you pretty much before and during your travels, and that will make a huge difference for you as well, for that peace of mind, which is what you want during the holidays. I highly recommend third-party travel insurance companies. Okay. They just do a much better job than sometimes going to, some of the times the credit card ones or the airline ones or the cruise line ones.
Again, a little bit deceivingly quiet here at the McNamara terminal at DTW. Now, another tip from David, regardless of what happens with this shutdown, he recommends getting the Clear or Global Entry Pass so you can get through security a little bit faster, especially if you have holiday travel plans. And most of those credit cards out there will reimburse you for those passes. Some good advice there. Reporting live at Detroit Metro, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Yeah, Jessica, anyone traveling right now could be experiencing a double whammy with the lack of federal workers there and the fact that weather is always at play this time of year. I mean, it could compound and make the issue so much worse.
Sure, that's exactly what we saw in Chicago with their 2 airports. Not only were they dealing with shutdown issues, they got hit with a major snowstorm that created quite a mess. So, yeah, this is not the ideal time to have a government shutdown when it comes to travel, that's for sure.
You mentioned checking that app before you head out to the airport. Good advice, Jessica. Thank you for that report. Detroit police could use your help finding whoever is responsible for a deadly double shooting on the city's west side. Officers say they found 2 men with gunshot wounds near Puritan and Lawton around 6 this evening. One of them died at the scene. The other died at the hospital. If you know anything, call Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Also new tonight, Royal Oak Police arresting a Canton woman suspected of driving drunk and barreling into an Ulta beauty store over on Woodward. Officers say it started yesterday just after midnight when they responded to reports of a vehicle driving on train tracks. Officers say they found an SUV near the tracks and tried to talk to Katrina Patterson, but she sped away, leading police to a chase. She ended up at a parking lot of the beauty store and allegedly crashed into the building, causing thousands of dollars worth of damage. Police are waiting on blood test results to determine if she was drunk or not. More legal and political drama tonight in Hamtramck, just as residents hope to turn the corner going after last Tuesday's election. Sources tell Fox 2 Hamtramck City Clerk is now on administrative leave as investigators say more election fraud charges are possible. Meanwhile, the man who narrowly won the election for Hamtramck City Mayor is also firing off several lawsuits. Let's get to Fox 2's Dave Pinchin in Hamtramck to sort it all out. Hi, Dave.
Sort out, and if you're a judge and if you have to deal with these lawsuits, well, that's got to be a tough job because there's a lot more lawsuits filed here. Here's what we that the city clerk is on administrative as the probe into alleged election fraud widens. We'll go to video right now and fill in all of the gaps. Rana Faraj is the city clerk, now on administrative leave. Mayor Amir Ghalib says it relates to an issue being handled by the acting city manager and city attorney. The mayor says some of the alleged violations include unreported ballots and violations purported to have taken place on Election Day. Meantime, the Monroe County prosecutor has been investigating to avoid any appearance of a conflict of interest with the Wayne County-based municipality. We are told more election fraud charges against city workers are possible within days, and it's one of the reasons Mayor-elect Adam El-Harbi says he filed several lawsuits, including against his rival city councilman Muhith Mahmood for seeking a recount after El-Harbi won by just 11 votes. We asked him and a former mayor how the city will move on from this mess. How do you clean this town up?
We just have to fight corruption and voter fraud and make sure that we move Hamtramck past that because there's so much potential for our city.
What do you say to the people who have lost faith in Hamtramck city government?
That there's hope, that we're fighting for you, and we'll make sure we correct the system.
This was a chance everyone thought to maybe turn a corner here in Hamtramck. What's your take?
Well, this is not the first time that we've had controversies with elections. And we've had elections won by 2 votes in the past. So, you know, it's a small town, and you know, the margins can be small.
Do you think the state needs to step in? Would that be a solution?
Well, I don't know what a state intervention would look like in a case like this. I'm not sure of the legalities, but the state certainly has a role to play in making sure that our elections are run properly, that our candidates are qualified to run, that they meet the criteria, and that there aren't obstacles thrown in the way of making sure that that happens.
And state officials have been looking at a lot of the issues coming out of Hamtramck in the last couple of years or so. Now, for this latest case, we did stop by the house of the city clerk to see if she had a comment. We also reached out on social media. Haven't heard back just yet. 2 council members did have election fraud charges filed against them. One of those members saw all but one of those charges thrown out. There's a misdemeanor that is sticking around, at least as of last check. We'll keep you updated on all of this as we continue to follow it. We're live tonight in Hamtramck. Dave Pinchin on the Edge.
A serene sight, chilly water cascading down a waterfall on the border of Michigan and Wisconsin. This is Ironwood, Michigan, which saw up to 8 inches of snow over the weekend. And tonight, people in parts of the Midwest are picking up shovels and digging out of heavy snow. Not us, thankfully. Some areas seeing up to a foot. Nothing like that we have to worry about just yet, but soon enough. Weather Authority Derek Kever here to tell us all about it.
We have a brief taste of winter over this 48-hour stretch. Well, I guess maybe we'll call it a 72-hour stretch from Sunday through around Tuesday night. And then we're going to start warming up as we move towards the end of the week. High temperatures near 32, lows near 25. Guys, that is more like late January than middle November. Usually mid-November, we see high temperatures closer to like 51. So we're 20 degrees below average. That's true today, and that's going to be true tomorrow as well. But yeah, the trend back up into the 50s before we know it, by the end of the week for sure. South Haven, the western side of the state, dealing with more of that lake effect snow. They will continue to see that lake effect snow as we move through the nighttime hours till probably like 4 a.m. But there are some milder temperatures thanks to that, you know, warmer water of Lake Michigan. So perhaps a little bit of rain mixing in, cutting down on some of those snowfall totals. And they have picked up on the western side of the state like 8 to 9 inches already. Now for us, us, here's what the forecast looks like. We'll go from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Those temperatures, they don't warm up a ton, but they do slowly start tracking upwards. Overall, statewide, I think we're going to be, generally speaking, precipitation free. Now, we might get a little flurry tomorrow. That's a possibility. Heading into Wednesday, there's going to be some showers, mostly off to the north. But overall, the trend is not as wet until we get into the weekend. So take a look here. 38 degrees tomorrow, 45, maybe a shower, especially in northern spots in Macomb County and St. Clair County on Wednesday. 50s back by Thursday, and then a little rain returning as we head into Saturday and Sunday.
William J. Spengler, Watchman. Mark A. Thomas, Deckhand. Ralph G.
The sounds of a solemn bell ringing in honor and remembrance of the 29 men who lost their lives 50 years ago today. The crew of the SS Edmund Fitzgerald suddenly vanished without a trace when the ship sank to the bottom of Lake Superior. The freighter, loaded with iron ore, was heading to Detroit when it disappeared in a strong storm. Tonight, folks gathered on Belle Isle at the Dawson Great Lakes Museum for a special event marking the 50th anniversary of the ship's sinking. It was part of the annual Lost Mariners Remembrance, honoring all sailors lost on the Great Lakes.
When the Edmund Fitzgerald went down, it was 1975. It was recent memory for a lot of us, and it really gave people kind of a new feeling for what it meant to be a mariner on the Great Lakes, how dangerous it truly was. The loss of the Edmund Fitzgerald actually created an impetus to create some new safety regulations in the maritime industry, and as a result of those, or hopefully as a result of those, we haven't lost another major ship since.
Now, to this day, how the Edmund Fitzgerald went down is still a mystery. We take a deeper dive in a 5-part special, Gales of November, the legacy of the Edmund Fitzgerald. That's on our website, fox2detroit.com. Today also marks 250 years of the United States Marine Corps. The Marines flag going up this morning at the Veterans Memorial Plaza outside the Coleman A. Young Municipal Center. The ceremony bringing Marines together, past and present, as we gear up for Veterans Day. Speaking of veterans, they could take advantage of some special free food deals all across Metro Detroit tomorrow. There's a little bit of everything on the menu. If you want a bite of breakfast, IHOP is offering a red, white, and blueberry pancakes combo for most of the day. Buffalo Wild Wings has a 10-piece boneless wings and fries. And veteran coffee lovers can pick up a 12-ounce cup at Starbucks. These are just a few of the nearly 50 different food deals we noticed for veterans. Head to our website for a complete list.
Can you imagine? We had no toilets, no sinks, no showers, living like that.
One veteran sharing his experience through song. More on his dream, decades in the making, still ahead. Plus,
what do you feel? Do you feel like the baby's coming out, or do you feel?
The baby coming
okay, just take a couple breaths, calm down. I got rescue on the way, okay?
But the baby. That's police in Melvindale not exactly expecting to deliver a baby when they pulled over a car for speeding. How this went down coming up on The Edge.
Join us